Welcome back to a daily dose of good news. Let's jump straight into the next part of Dr. Luke's testimony. In it, we find Jesus teaching the crowds. Do not judge, and you will not be judged. Do not condemn, and you will not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven. Give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together and running over, will be poured into your lap. For with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. He also told them this parable. Can a blind man lead a blind man? Will they not both fall into a pit? A student is not above his teacher, but everyone who is fully trained will be like his teacher. Why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye? How can you say to your brother, Brother, let me take the speck out of your eye, when you yourself fail to see the plank in your own eye? You hypocrite! First take the plank out of your eye, and then you will see clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye. This is fascinating. Jesus is telling us that we can control how people treat us. If you don't want people to judge you, if you don't want them to write you off, if you want them to forgive you, if you want them to give you stuff, then you can make it happen. It's in your hands, your control. What you need to do is behave in the way you want people to behave towards you. Jesus didn't say, be generous and then people may be more generous towards you. He said, give, and it will be given to you. Jesus didn't say, stop judging people, and then they may not be so hard on you. He said, do not judge, and you will not be judged. It's like a rule of nature. Throw a ball up in the air, and it will fall back down again. The last part, about the speck in your eye, is all too obvious, especially if we turn the situation around. If I am struggling to control my weight, I'm not going to want to listen to someone who is obese and dines out on chocolate and sweets. But if I come across someone who has managed to change their diet, lost lots of weight and kept it off, then I'm much more inclined to listen to them. If I want some advice on raising my kids, I'm going to go to the person who has raised a bunch of children who are now the sort of role models I want my kids to become. So before I dish out my own advice, before I pick someone up on their faults, I need to make sure my house is in order. Let's not forget that the faults we see in others tend to be the faults we recognise in ourselves, if we're being honest about it. Some good stuff here, Jesus. See you tomorrow.